tree diagrams using conditional probability. A box contains 12 beads. 5 are yellow, the rest are green. A bead is removed from the box, its colour is noted. It is not returned to the box. Then a second selection is made and it's repeated, and a third selection. So here we're picking 3 different beads from the box. Pick 1, pick 2, pick 3. And we're going to make a tree diagram based on this. We know because there's 2 choices at each stage, 2 by 2 by 2 is 8. So we're going to have 8 at the very end. There's going to be 8 different possible outcomes using the fundamental principle of counting. So I'm going to draw 8 boxes at the end. I'm going to draw this backwards. It's just easier and neater to lay out. So I'm going to draw 8 boxes at the end. Leading into these 8 boxes, we would have had a choice of 4 leading into this, because we're going backwards, dividing by 2 each time. And leading into those 4, there was a choice of 2. And I'm just going to join the branches to these. It's difficult to lay it out if you start at pick 1. I think it's just a neater way of laying it out. So you could use this if it helps. So this is what our selections look like. If we have 3 choices and 2 choices at each, this is the shape of the tree diagram. So I'm going to mark that we have maybe choices of yellow. So the first box you could have yellow, and the other choices were green. So these are all our choices. We think about it. And I'm going to draw maybe a little picture of what the box looks like at the start. So we had 5 yellow and we had 7 of the green ones in it. And what we're going to do is now we're going to make our first selection. So if we think at the start, we had 5 out of 12 as the choice, and 7 out of 12 as the choice for green. So we had green or yellow. Note these add up to 1. So we're choosing from 12 beads at the start. Now at pick 2, we have removed one of the beads, so there's only 11 beads left. So the probability of getting yellow this time, given that we've chosen one of the yellows already, there's only 4 left, so it's 4 out of 11. The probability of getting green, if we picked yellow before, well, all the greens are still there, it's 7 out of 11. Of getting yellow, if we had green, well, all the yellows are there, so it's 5 out of 11. And green, having picked green, would be 6 out of 11 because one of the greens are gone. At the third pick, we now only have 10 beads left. Probability of getting yellow, having picked 2 yellows, there's 3 yellows left, 3 out of 10. Green, having picked 2 yellows, we've none of the greens used up, so there's still 7 greens to choose from, 7 out of 10. Of yellow, having picked both a green and a yellow, so one of the yellows is gone, so there's still only 4 yellows left to pick from. One of the greens is gone if we're picking a green, so we only have 6 greens out of 10 to choose from. The probability of getting a yellow, having picked a green and a yellow already, would be 4 out of 10 because there's 4 yellows left out of the 10, and 6 out of 10 for the greens. And lastly, the probability of getting a yellow, having picked 2 greens, well, there's 5 of the yellows left, or a green, having picked 2 greens, there's 5 of the yellows left. It's worth noting at each pair of branches like this, 6 over 10 and 4 out of 10, it adds up to 1, so 10 out of 10 is the total here. So this is true for any pair of branches. So here 4 out of 11 and 7 out of 11 add up to 11 out of 11. So that's one way of checking that you've done the branches correctly. So let's list out all what we have here. You could have got yellow, 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 green, yellow, green, yellow, yellow, green, green, etc. So just marking out here what the tree diagram is telling us that our 8 options are. And lastly, green, green, green. So that's our first thing. We've drawn the tree diagram. Now we're being asked to find the probability of selecting exactly 2 green beads. Well, we can see there's 3 ways we could do this. Yellow, green, 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 yellow, green, 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 yellow. That's the way of getting exactly 2 green beads. So let's work out the probability of each of these by looking back at the branches. The probability of yellow, green, green. Yellow the first time is 5/12, green then is 7/11, and green again is 6/10. So 5/12 by 7/11 multiplied by 6/10. So using the multiplication rule that each of these happens one at the other, we'll multiply these. So sticking this into the calculator, I see I'm getting 7 out of 44. So I look at the next option then, which is the probability of getting yellow, green, green. So this time we see it's 7/12, 5/11, and 6/10 is what we're multiplying. So 7/12, 5/11, and 6/10. We might notice that this, when we multiply it as the same as the last fraction, 7 out of 44, because the numerators are 7, 5, 6, and the denominators are 12, 11, 10. And the last one, green, green, yellow, is 7/12, 6/11 by 5/10. So for green, green, yellow. So we just look back along the branches to see each time. Again, we might notice that this multiplies to 7/44. It has the same numerators and the same denominators. So the probability of getting 3 green would be the sum of these. So we have 3 lots of 7/44, which is 21/44. So that's the solution.